Hello. What is up? Turn down this music. I mean, it's good music, but it is loud. Hello, hello. Good to see people are talking in the chat. You guys are great. Having some lively discussions down there. What is up? Hello, hello. Talking about Linux, if a console is a handheld or something. Handheld or foot held, it doesn't matter. That's not a mobile device, period. If that's the case, then is Nintendo Switch 2.1? No, and Nintendo will sue you if you call it that. Good question. I think this might be a difference of language. So despite y'all are speak the same language, come from two different countries, uh, in most countries of the world, when they say mobile, they actually mean a cell phone. But in America, often we will use the term mobile to not mean cell phone. It could be anything portable, right? So it could be that. That could be the difference in what y'all are talking about. But yeah, I've heard people actually call their phone their mobile before in many countries. Like, yeah, let me pick up my mobile. And in America, we're like, we don't ever say that. Mobile is like a verb. It would never be a noun. What was that music, Jason? That is Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, I think. I'll post the playlist that it's coming from so you can check it out, man. I actually don't know. It's just from some playlist. Love the background. Thanks, man. I put in a little bit less effort today. It's just a bunch of random stuff. You can see my door. I could have moved the plant over, but you know, whatever. But appreciate it. I thought it was Zelda nice for sure. You got it. You got it locked down. Definitely had big Zelda vibes. Let's see who's here. Got Reluctant Hero, Ant Man. What's up, Ant Man? Got Blind Tech. Nima Stark is the PC new parts. We're gonna say it's new parts, yeah. So we don't have the PC. That was just something to give us to do. Hoping we could all work together to build a PC part picker list of using new parts. Yeah, that would be ideal. What a what an entrance from legendary Jason. My guy just phase shifted. The light diffuser. I don't fit on this light. I know. Yeah, pretty much. Well, I'm not gonna buy another one. Like I already have it. Why are you building a new PC? Not for me. This is a theoretical PC. It right, a theorycraft build. It might be used. There is an idea for someone who's asked me about a computer recently, and they said they want to build in the near future, but I know them, and when they say near future, they really mean in like a year. So you know things would change in a year, but you know just in case, you know maybe tomorrow he does hit me up, we'll be ready. Nintendo Legal Ninjas will be here soon. If y'all saw my video from Saturday, I think I posted it on Saturday about the emulation box. I was very scared of Nintendo taking down the video, so yeah, it's a very real fear. Let's see, we got Blind Tech, Sam, and scroll up. Coalition Gaming, what's up? Man, I have a gastrointestinal issues tonight, man. I don't know what is going on. Hazards me, Hayden, Trent, what's up, guys? I'm in. I was making some $1,000 list for some people yesterday. I made 3 potential configurations. Very cool, very cool. I understand what you mean because for me, mobile means phone. Yep, and I consider Steam Deck switches and consoles. Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, I think it's a difference because we don't really use the word mobile in the USA, almost never. And so whenever we do use it, it generally means portable. So a phone is a mobile, a Steam Deck is mobile, an Xbox is not. You know what I mean? That's kind of how it goes. And so I think what Coalition Gaming was saying is that if it has a battery and a screen, that's something we would consider mobile. And I agree. I think that is kind of the cutoff. So it's just a difference in regional language, I suppose. But yeah, but here's the thing: is a Steam Deck a mobile console? Yeah, I would say so. Generally, when we use the word console, we mean does it plug into a TV and play games? But in reality, what it means is that is it a dedicated device that plays games? Steam Deck is a dedicated device that plays games, so I would say it is a console, but I would never just call it a console because people they get mad. Anything that has a screen, you have to put the word portable or mobile before it. Yeah. So I call it a portable PC, a handheld PC. And if you've been here on the channel for a long time, and I mean like 2 years ago, we had this discussion on a live stream where we were trying to figure out what to call things like the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally because you don't want to call it a console and it's not a phone. And saying it's a portable handheld console is a little bit too long. And so we were brainstorming ideas of what to call it. I think we landed on things like Porty, which would be short for portable handheld. A handy was a good one. A port PC, so portable PC. Yeah, we had a big debate about it on like what to call it, and there's just nothing good yet. So because eventually we will, eventually we will have a better name for it. Because right now, calling it a basically what people do is they call it either a portable computer or a handheld console or a Steam Deck alternative, which isn't helpful. So it's gonna be interesting what we end up calling it. Jason, if you need some extra gas, isn't there a 7-Eleven near you to get some? I don't need gas. I got too much gas. And there's actually no 7-Elevens near me. I think there are some 7-Elevens in Dallas, but surprisingly 7-Eleven, there aren't that many in Houston. Houston has a lot of like smaller gas station companies. Yeah, we don't have very many 7-Elevens. I don't even know where the nearest one is. We do use mobile gaming as a category. Steam Deck goes in there. Yeah, but I know we do. That's the thing. It's funny because when we say a mobile, I understand people mean mobile like a portable thing, but whenever I say mobile gaming, I do think of cell phone games, like, and I don't think of Steam Deck games. You know what I mean? Like that's it's just a confusing part. Language. What's up, Jason? What's up, Hazard? Que pasa, Chocolate Thunder? Renato, how are you, man? Saw in the news $1.4 million of Switch 2s were stolen from a truck. That's pretty crazy. I wonder how they're going to handle that because how Apple handles that, because Apple stores are a prime target for theft, is they lock down all the devices. So they are bricked, right? If you steal an Apple device, Apple can immediately turn it off and it will never work again under normal circumstances, which I don't think most people know how to unlock it because it's apparently it is possible, but it's no one knows how. So they like lock it down. And so people are like stealing, tens of thousands of dollars of stuff from Apple stores only to have it locked down the next day because you don't want to go out and sell 10 MacBooks the next day after one gets robbed. You know what I mean? You want to wait a little bit, but then they lock them all down. So then you're just sitting on all these parts that are like all locked down, and it's like, well, that wasn't worth it. So I wonder if they're going to do that with the Nintendos because they've proven they can brick them. So just go ahead and brick them then. Which sucks because that's a lot of Switches that are just going to be thrown in the trash. You know what I mean? Like they are just e-waste at that point. But so hope it was worth it. The prick who stole it. Yeah, man, given his idea of what a $1,000 PC could be, valid. Seems valid. A 256 gig SSD. I mean, we got $1,000. We can do better than that. And a 4060, we can do better than that for sure. Dude, something's wrong with me. I need like Tums or something, man. I'm struggling. Calling it now. Got 9600X, yeah. A B850MX, yeah. Yeah, 9060 XT, 600 watt. Yeah, that sounds about right. Just like from the top of my head, that sounds right. Remember the days of luggable? Ugh. If NVIDIA 5060 instead of 9060 XT. Steam Deck / ROG Ally are handheld PCs. Yeah. Handy? Yeah. I mean, that's why we landed on porty, because it sounds a little bit better. You don't want to call it a handy. But a porty doesn't sound good either. It sounds like a porta potty, which in American English is a mobile toilet. So, porty, it could be good. The mobile gaming community uses iPhones, iPads, and Android. Steam Deck, Switches, Ally, or whatever aren't welcome. LOL. That's like saying Android doesn't count as Linux. Very gatekeepy. I mean, I think that's one of those. Technically, like, yeah, it does. I wouldn't call it gatekeeping though. But I think when people say the word Linux, they're not even referring to like TrueNAS. Generally, when they say the word Linux, they are talking about Ubuntu, Linux Mint. You know, they're talking about a desktop PC environment. Even though you're right, it's all kind of based on Linux. Uh-oh, I hear a cat outside the door. We've got a buddy here. Mobile gaming means App Store games to me. Yeah, that's how I see it. It's obviously very customized, much like SteamOS, so it kind of gets a bit of a differentiation. Yeah, I think we often speak in terms of like operating systems, so that's why I feel like we shouldn't call it Linux. I feel like we should say, you know, I use Ubuntu, I use Mint, I use you know what I mean? Like, I use Android. Hey, buddy, say hi. That's not saying hi. He just wanted to come in here. I don't think he actually wanted to play. But it's all good. I mean, it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, it's all just words. So, but here's the thing: is a hot dog a taco? Sure. Again, and this is what I'm saying. It's all words. Like, it doesn't matter. You can call a hot dog a taco or not, and it's fine because ultimately, at the end of the day, you're eating whatever it is, whatever you call it. It doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with the Linux thing. Like, call it a Linux. It's like, oh, this is my Linux phone. It's like, well, it's Android, but if you want to call it Linux, that's fine too, or, you know, whatever. I'm always planning on getting a Steam Deck, but when I see all the other handheld devices from Lenovo, Asus, and some other brands, I feel like the Steam Deck is calling my name. For sure. Yeah, Steam Decks are great. The Steam Deck is a handheld PC. It's not a mobile device. It's like a laptop, but in controller form. For sure. And we were talking about this earlier, that mobile just means portable in America. I do like just handheld for the PC like mobile devices versus cell phones, tablets. Kind of has a more powerful connotation. I think that would work too. Yeah, I think calling it just a handheld. But then that's what we used to call like 3DSs, right? Now the Nintendo Switch is a handheld as well, but it's also a console, right? So it's just words. Dylan, what's up, Dylan? How are you, man? Right. Linux people want a name distro for sure. For sure. Stang, what's up? What's up, man? Watch the streaming help video. I have a gripe. You didn't put the sixth and most important point, have a cat reviews. That does help a lot for sure. Yeah. Thanks for watching. I think you were about the you and 10 other people watched that video, so appreciate it, whoever did. The content does not really match my channel, to be honest, at all. But you know, we're still coming off of paying for Brownie surgery, so and there's not a lot of ads on the. In the summer, views usually dip down, so you know the money is not very good during the summer, and it's you know it's all over the place. So, but I try to make it as best as I could, but it doesn't really fit the rest of my channel. So I don't blame people who only want to watch PC content. They don't watch it because it's like very, very different. It's not even in the same class. I watched it before. Thanks, man. I say the Android thing as a tongue-in-cheek joke for sure. Um, but here's the thing, Chris. There's a lot of people who take that kind of stuff way too seriously. You can't joke around when it comes to Linux. Like unless you want to get stabbed in a parking lot, like you just got to be careful. Streaming video had some solid stuff. I actually use most of those for my work meetings to improve the quality. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I think it was a very, very simple video because I'm not the best streamer. I don't know, you know, all the nitty gritties about streaming, but the product being sponsored was a webcam. And I didn't just want to make a, hey, check out this webcam video because frankly, I'm not qualified for that as well. I like webcam and that's it. I just use it and it's good. So I try to think of a way to incorporate what I've been doing with what a sponsor wanted for content that would support the channel at the end of the day. So I probably won't do any more like that ever again. I think I'm going to try to keep things maybe focused more on gaming, but also maybe do some network stuff too. We'll see. Adams Drives with a $10 donation. Donation to DoorDash some Tums. Thank you, Adam. You could tell I'm struggling, dude. Some Tums actually does sound nice. We have some downstairs, but I am like, yeah, I don't know why. We just had dinner like 30 minutes ago, so that might be why. But we had some chicken wings I made, and I think I do have some kind of gastrointestinal stuff because I deal with that kind of stuff a lot. I don't know if it's GERD or whatever. Let's just say I can feel a rumbling in here, and I'm just like, I'm not like burping or anything, but if anyone has any gastrointestinal issues, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Like, things are just weird. I think Brownie left. Real talk, that camera good or corporate shill talk? I am in the market for a good webcam. It's a good question, Dylan. So here's the thing. If it was bad, like honestly, bad, like I have had some people send me an item, and then after testing, like we agreed to do an ad, and then it comes, and I'm like, hey, we got to cancel the ad. This item's not good. So for me, there's like a bare minimum of how good an item has to be to advertise it on the channel. But I will say it is low. Basically, the item cannot be a scam, and it cannot be horrendously overpriced for what it is, and it has to bring some kind of value to people, and they have to have good like backup for it. So if it's like I've had a lot of companies reach out who sell a product that they don't support. So there will be like, they don't put their drivers on their website. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, that's not a good way to support your product. So things like that, I will say, I'm not saying that camera is the best of the best of the best. I've honestly only ever tried maybe 5 or 6 webcams in the last few years. And it was fine with all of them, I would say. That's why, like, when I tested it, I'm like, you know what, this is pretty good, why not, no problem. So yeah, it was fine. It wasn't life-changing stuff. It's just a good camera, why not? Is it as good as the Osbot? I do value your opinion. That's a good question. Osbot has a lot of different cameras, and I personally really like the Osbot Meet 2 because I compared the Osbot Meet 2 with the Anker 4K camera, I think. And the Anker one is like this long. It is like a chunky boy. And I'm like, man, this thing's big. It's going to have a nice big sensor in it. There's going to be cooling in there. This thing is going to look good. And then the OBSBot one is like this big. It is like tiny. Like it fits in half a pocket. I'm trying to think. Like it's smaller than this. That's how big the OBSBot Meet is. It's like half of this, and it's a 4K camera, and that's the camera you're looking at me right now. You know what I mean? And to me, I'm like, how did they get such a good quality in such a tiny form factor compared to the Anker? Because the Anker one didn't look good. Like you compare them side by side, they just look bad. And so I am using the OBSBot one because if I'm only going to have one webcam, I would prefer it to be small just in case. You know what I mean? Because I don't need the tracking stuff. I would say if you need tracking, get the one I mentioned in the video. But I do really like the OBSBot Meet 2 specifically because of the small form factor. So I guess maybe their software is just better. I don't know, like, because it does just look better. They might have some like good software that's just built in that just makes it look good. I don't know. That isn't to say that the one in the ad is bad. It was good. But like I said, like if it's between that, if I needed tracking, like I needed it to follow me around the room, I would probably use the one in the video. Yeah, because this one doesn't have. This one has it, but it's not physical. So it will like zoom in and do tracking with zooms, but then those other webcams, they have a physical motor in it, which I would prefer. So if I was going to use that, I would need a physical motor. So they're all pretty good. Do I recommend the Johnsbo D32 Pro case? Yeah, I liked it a lot. It's pretty good. Streaming tip and OBS tip type videos can kind of work during summer. People off of school and stuff wanting to play around with streaming, that sort of thing. Okay, cool. Well, hopefully it takes off because it's dead in the water. It is by far my most dead video in years, like truly years. But you can't ever say that because sometimes I'll have a video that's dead in the water and then just over time it just builds up and it just becomes good little by little. So I'm not too upset by it, but it does make me kind of look bad to the sponsor because they paid money for it and they're not smart enough to understand like videos can get views after the first day. In their mind, it's like first day, those are all the views it's ever gonna get because they don't understand YouTube. So it's whatever. Hopefully, if at least like a couple people watch it and they get some like basic understanding of what people need to stream. Because to get footage for that video, I was going through Twitch, people who were streaming to like 0 or 1 people, and oh my god, it's bad. There's a lot of footage in the video I used from them where it is just bizarre. Like the stuff people are using, and it's not even about like they can't afford the best equipment. I don't even think people need to buy anything to start streaming. As long as you have the basic necessity, if you're using a laptop mic and a laptop camera, turn your light on. Clean your room. Like you can do that stuff for free. Like something, right? And then slowly build out from there. So I was trying to get that like, hey, here's maybe some equipment recommendations, a little bit, not really, but mostly like just some practical tips on like what's the most important stuff, because people get drowned out in overlays, they get drowned out in scene transitions, and I do mention that as like a bonus at the end. I'm like, yeah, this is fun to use, but realistically you don't need to do that. Like just focus on the basics, focus on having a good personality, and none of it matters. Like truly, as long as people like you, it doesn't matter. So it was fun to make, but it's just not performing as well. I knew it wouldn't do well. Let me take that back. I knew it wouldn't do well. I didn't think it'd do this poor. So thanks for anyone who watched it. Appreciate it. There's a volcano bubbling and soon it will erupt. I do feel like that. Have GERD can confirm Tums helps. Before getting diagnosed, I would randomly feel short of breath, have stuff come back up with burps, or even get foam coming up. Wow, okay, interesting. I would say the randomly short of breath sometimes I do get. Have stuff come back up with burps. I don't have that. I will say I have like air come up. And I haven't had any foam. So I guess maybe I don't have GERD, but maybe I have something there. Dude, Nathan, don't ever apologize for being late. You're good, dude. You're on the other side of the world. I don't mind. How's it going, man? See, I really did watch the video. Thanks, Dylan. Appreciate it. Short spam is the way right now. It's annoying. Recut it into a short and it can get a nice little chunk of views. Yeah, I hate shorts, man. I hate making shorts. I hate watching shorts. I hate all of it. It's not fun. It's not how I like to make content. It's unfortunate that that's so true. I think if I wanted to do shorts, I would focus entirely on shorts. Like I can't just do both, truly. I'm not good enough to do it. I would need to like go all in on shorts and stop making long form. I don't want to do that because I prefer long form. But maybe I'm thinking maybe I can do like one short a week at the very least. That'll help. Whenever I get a chance to buy a Steam Deck, I will always go for the OLED model because I'm used to seeing my iPhone screen when I am not on my PC. Yeah, yeah, OLED model just looks better, for sure. AliExpress has some interesting case on there. When I was looking around for one, I smelled a video idea with one of them, like the one I'm checking out, the Red Dragon GC218M. Okay, I'll check it out. I have ordered some cases from there. For a long time, you couldn't get a good case because the shipping was crazy. And then, I don't know, they just found out how to do it. But I'll check that out. I'll write it down. Things will get better. Just keep on grinding, and you will take off like an oiled up, animated, perverted wife. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I am kind of glad I did not like my channel hasn't blown up overnight because I've seen a lot of people. So how YouTube algorithm works is that it will feed your new videos to your subscribers, right? And then based on like how your subscribers respond to it is how I mean, it's not all the time, but it's a big indicator of how well the video is going to do. And so YouTube will penalize people who have 100,000 subscribers, but only 100 of them clicked on the video, right? It's like, hey, wow. So you have all these subscribers, and not even the people who are most dedicated to you want to watch your video. And so you get that a lot with people who blow up over one video. People will subscribe and then never watch another video ever again. Like maybe they get a video that gets like 20 million views, and so they get like 100,000 subscribers out of it, and it's like, whoa, huge. And then it just, you look at them 6 months later, and they're getting like 1,000 views on a video, 500, 200, whatever. So I'm kind of glad that didn't happen. I'm okay with like a slow climb, because it's fun. I like it. Yeah, but we'll see. But appreciate it, man. Thank you. I have GERD as well, and I have a colonoscopy on Thursday. Okay, man. Well, hope you're okay. Hello, Big Nerd Energy. What's up, Robert? How's it going, dude? It's raining here, but otherwise it's all good. Nice. Isn't it winter there, Nathan? Is it cold where you're at? Because here it is hot. We are starting to see the days where everything is like between 37 and 40 degrees. So it's yeah, it's getting quite hot. Just go on Kai Cenat Live. Yeah, I'm sure Kai Cenat's audience would love what I do. They are I mean, it's primarily children, right? I don't think any adults watch that. It's like he's a children's entertainer, basically. Yeah, I do have some children as my viewers, but generally I don't have that kind of energy to entertain children in videos. I brought gas station sushi for everyone. I don't mind that, dude. Dude, in Japan, you'll go to the gas station and buy sushi. It, I'm not gonna say it's better than fine dining in America. That would be foolish. But I would say gas station sushi in Japan is better than like an average restaurant here. It's less fancy, of course, because it's generally just the basic stuff. But it is certainly tastes better than the average restaurant here, which sucks. And it costs like $1 compared to like $12. It sucks. It is indeed winter where I live. It's a bit chilly. Nice, dude. I'm jelly. We're all children still, just with better toys. Is very true. I don't mind that. I heard that when it rains in Australia, all the dangerous stuff head into hiding, so it's a breath of fresh air. That's true. We definitely do have a. I think we have a kind of this idea of Australia where it is the most dangerous place to live because um, anywhere you are always. Let me. How do I put this? There's always a giant spider outside your door, and they sneak in. And there's just crazy animals everywhere who are trying to kill you, and they get into your house, and it's a very dangerous place. Not from the people, but essentially just because of animals, wildlife, insects. I had airport sushi in Hawaii. It was better than any sushi in SoCal. Yeah, there you go. Dang, $1? Imagine if they had sushi at the Dollar Tree. That's what I'm saying, and it pisses me off. And so it's like a combination of, I mean, obviously it's in Japan, and here in the States, we see sushi as like a luxury. So, and then, you go to Japan, pizza's way more expensive there than it is here. So it goes both ways. But we see sushi as a luxury. In Japan, not so much. It's not a luxury, it's just kind of a nice to have. People don't eat it every day because it is kind of a pain in the butt to get, and it does cost more than other food, but it's like reasonable. Um, and it's two reasons that Japan companies aren't greedy little pricks like we are in America, but also I think that might be the most important one. I remember when we flew there, we were flying out of LAX, and uh, this is not the last time, but the time before, I was with my mom, and she really wanted a bottle of water before we boarded the plane. I don't know why. And she went to the nearby shop in the airport terminal, and they sold her a bottle of water for $9. Just a normal bottle of water, you know, 500 ml. Yeah, very expensive. $9. Landed in Japan. Uh, got out of the. We're still in the terminal, so like after we go through security, they have drinks and stuff you can buy there. And so she's like, "I want a water." I'm like, "Okay, fair enough. Let's go buy a water bottle." And at the airport, we're able to buy a water for 110 yen, which is the same amount it would cost outside of the airport, which is amazing. So they're not price gouging because you're at the airport. And 110 yen is like 80 cents. So that was very annoying, and it makes America look very, very greedy. You know what I mean? Like they chose to make a $9 bottle of water because they want to make as much money as possible. And I think that, um, I mean, obviously you're going to have some of that in Japan, where things are a little bit more expensive, but it's not like crazy. Here, like you want to get food at Disneyland, it's going to cost you $30. There, it'll cost you like 10. You know what I mean? And so it's like, yes, it is more than you get at a normal place, but it's not insane. It's just more reasonable. $9 in video water, basically, dude. It wasn't a video water though. It was like some Dasani. You know what I mean? It was like nothing fancy. Very frustrating. That kind of stuff pisses me off. Except my kid keeps taking over all of my gaming toys. Very true, dude. All the food in Japan stores are better than meals out in the U.S. and some in Jamaica. Not all, but a lot. Yeah, I certainly had some not great meals in Japan, but it seems like they do put a little bit extra care where our bottom food is gonna be like a hot dog at the gas station, which is like a roller meal, or some shit you buy at the grocery store that you microwave. It costs $1. But even there, like the lowest bar is a little bit higher. I think that's nice. Like here, people will eat the garbage, so they just make the garbage. But I feel like if people stopped buying it, it would maybe the quality would go up. Yeah, other places around the world not always min-maxing profits and squeezing people for as much as possible is nice. That's always nice to see. It's obviously it's more countries than just America. I have been to a lot of countries that they do that still, but luckily Japan is one of the few that just you know the Japanese companies are fully content if their company grows 1% every year because they got to pay all their employees. They got to do everything they wanted to do, and their company grew. That's a win for the year. And with that kind of growth, you can survive 100 years, and that's kind of like the goal of a Japanese company, is to last 100 years. And so they're not so greedy where you have to 10x every year. You know what I mean? A 1% growth year over year would be better to them than a 10x 1 year and then like, you know, 2x every year. You know what I mean? Like it's just a more, but it's like up, down, up, down, up, down. They would just rather have a steady upward trend, from what I've heard from my Japanese friends and, you know, studying Japanese. I'm from the Caribbean. The spiders in Australia are nothing compared to the ones over in Trinidad. Those guys fighting off 18-foot long bird eating spiders. That is kind of, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, but I don't know how common they are. Like I know that kind of stuff exists, but I'm sure it's only if you live in the middle of nowhere. If you live in the city or any of the cities, I suppose. But I'm sure it doesn't happen as often. But I also know most of Australia is like nothing. Basically, you either live on the coast, or you live in the middle of nowhere. Most of Australia is like a desert. Like there's just nothing out there, from what I understand. There might be a little civilization here and there, but it is primarily people live on the coast, and that's it. Sometimes the water at the airport is not cold. Yeah, exactly. They don't even have the decency to put it in the fridge for you. They hand you lukewarm water. They make so much money from it. Very sad. One thing you'll often hear is people are, you know, I've got expenses to pay, and that's fair enough. You know, you got to pay rent and everything. And I understand the goal of a business is to literally make as much money as possible, right? Like I understand that. But there needs to be a middle ground where you are just trying to sustain. And is that not enough for most companies? Like as long as you have the money to pay everyone's bills, give everyone nice raises every year, and do some expansion, like is that not enough? And then anyway, whenever you do see it here, like people, man, even when companies are failing, it seems like the CEOs get like a 40% bonus. You know what I mean? Like it's not like people are getting bonuses. The company doing well essentially just means that the CEO and stockholders do well. Could care less. Mr. C&D, what's up? Longtime member of the channel. How are you, man? Good to see you. Y'all see that little face next to his name? That means he is a member. It means we value him above all else. That's a photo of my profile picture, but my hair is blonde. So my eyebrows, my beard, and my hair is all blonde. It's not real. It's just a Photoshop, but it was meant to be the golden one. Like it like golden is better than Jason, so it's like the golden Jason. But I don't think it comes across as that. Australia has like upside down Canada. Very true. I think, yeah, Canada has a lot of portion of land that's like uninhabitable as well. People just live on the coast and the border, and that's it. You don't realize how few people live in Russia, in Australia, and Canada. You see all that land, and you're like, man, that land must be tons of people. It's like, no, they all live together in a few couple places, and the rest of it is nothing. Like you could, man, especially in Russia, I've heard there are such, like you could drive so long without seeing another living soul in Russia. And a lot of those places don't even have roads because they don't want people going there, because it's just barren iceland and like just nothing out there. It's not safe because if you get far enough, there's no gas stations and there's no food, so you're just basically just gonna die, which is crazy to think that you're driving so far in one direction that you cannot return, and nobody will come look for you, and there's no food, and there's probably no water, and it's just nothing, just nature. So far from civilization that you cannot return. Pretty scary. He was gonna take us to Flavortown. Wait, who? I have a friend over there. They're very common, from 10 to 18 feet long. Honestly, I feel for them to come home seeing you forget to close your window and a visitor's in the ceiling. Yeah, That would be my fear. It sounds pretty scary. I don't know if I can handle that. Oh man. I need some caffeine. I wish this had caffeine in it. But us Aussies are pretty cool. Yeah, every Australian I've met, they've been pretty cool. Have no gripes. I've met more English people than Australians, but oh yeah. We're representing the blonde look. Yeah, sorry, got it. It is very much that. So to sum it up, he made a Super Saiyan version of Jason. Sick, kind of, yeah. Let me see if I can pull up so we can look at PC part picker. Now, how do I do this without doxing myself? Let me duplicate this. Should have done this beforehand. Let's see. Window capture. Oh, I guess I can do screen capture. Oh, that's fun. Application. Window. My face on top because I'm the most important person. Can't chop off the webcam. Whatever. Jesus. Sorry, guys. Wait. We don't need that. Oh, was it loud? Did the music get really loud? Is that what that was? Sorry, I just noticed it. Yeah, because it started pulling audio and it was like fully turned up. My bad. Sorry. Look, that's what they don't tell you at Streamer University, okay? Music got suddenly loud. Yeah, I understand. It's because I added a new source and it automatically it added another desktop audio on top of the one I already had going, and it was cranked up, and the one I have is like very low, very quiet. It's so low you can't even hear it. Sorry, guys. Sorry to whoever immediately alt F4'd the the stream. He is wrong about the spiders. They are called Goliath spiders, and they are around 11 inches long, not feet. I assumed he meant inches. Yeah, 18 feet spiders. Yeah, it was clearly it was a typo. Yeah, and of course there's no 18-foot spiders. Little typo. It's okay. Okay, so yes, this guy I know, he wanted to do a build, but he said $1,000. But this person said that they want it soon. But this is the type of person who isn't reliable. So I think when they say soon, they mean in a year. So, but I want to have one ready just in case. Here's the rules. We could get something used if we had to, but I would prefer to do everything new because I know he would prefer that. But that is an option if we really, really, truly needed to. So let's stick it there. So basically, the original Mad Max trilogy was a documentary of Australian life. Nice. It's one for one, dude. It's literally what life is like in Australia. Soon, like as soon as they get the money. They have money. That's the annoying part. So there are people in your life who, what's the best way to put this? They're all talk, right? There are people who talk about like give them a pay in 4 plan. These are people who like talk about like, man, wouldn't it be crazy if like all 5 of us went on a trip to Europe? And man, that's crazy. We're gonna do this, this, and this. They start going into detail of like what places they're gonna go, what countries. And in my mind, I'm like, you guys are all talk. Like, you know that's not gonna happen. But it's not because they don't have the money or the time off. It's not like that. It's that they just don't do it. Like they have the ability to do it, but they're all talk. And so like for me, I'm like, why even waste time talking about it if you're not gonna do it? Like it's not fun to dream of stuff you can't do whenever you can do it. It's like just go do it. So that's what I think is gonna happen. Then they're the first person to drop out. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Whenever it actually, when something does materialize, they're the first person saying, I can't go. And then you ask for like a good reason, they don't have one because they're all talk. It's like there is nothing holding them back. There's no obligations. There's nothing going on. It's just literally when it comes down to it, they are all talk. And when it's time to actually do something in their life or in other people's lives, they don't do it. That's exactly right, Chris. Okay. So CPU, I think Reluctant Hero had the right idea. He said a 9600X. Hold on, let me put it on screen so people come in, they know what we're doing. I need a little texty text. Hopefully this one's not loud. $1,000 budget. Boom. We're gonna put that right there. Helvetica? Yeah, people love Helvetica. How do I stroke it? Outline. That did not help. Okay. So for $1,000, we can't do a tiny SSD. We can't do AM4. It's gonna have to be DDR5. It's gonna have to be at least a terabyte of storage, and we're gonna have to actually pay for a case. This is not a build where we try to min-max what we can get out of it. This is a build that someone might actually use, right? We can't say, well, just go find a case on the side of the road. Yes, that's possible, but it's not reasonable. Did you see that new AM4 X3D chip that AMD just released in South Africa? I did not. Or South America? Oh, yeah, you're right. I did. The 5500 X3D. Yeah, we talked about that last week. I don't think people should buy that. I don't see the point if you have access to all the other chips. South America might not have access to any of those, so maybe I give them a pass. But I would, if we had everything here and that was one of the options, I don't think I would tell anyone to buy it. I just don't get it. So, $178 for a 9600X sounds pretty good, actually. Maybe we just put some stuff up now, and then we can edit it across. Because I'll be honest, this is probably going to be AM5. I don't foresee myself buying an Intel thing right now, unless it was like 14th gen. which could be possible, but I don't know. I think AM5's got the lockdown right now. So I think we're going to go with 9600X just to start. Look at that. It boosts to 5.4. That's awesome. Fantastic. Zen 5, 65 watt, 6 cores. That's enough for everyone. Yeah, I think 9600X is a great CPU. We'll start with that. And I'm starting to think that Reluctant Hero might have been right. But let's put on the storage first. AMD has officially mentioned a 9600 X3D. Okay, 9600, if the price is right, I can understand it. But 5500 X, I'm just like, dude, let's not do this. Would y'all buy a 7500 X3D? Let me put it that way, like the 7500F. Would you buy a 7500 X3D for your brand new build? It's a maybe for me because it's a AM5. Now imagine it's AM4. It's like, dude, not only is it last generation, it's putting a hat on something that's like the lowest tier. Like I just don't. It's just so strange, and I just don't get it. An all Intel build, a B550, Arc B550, and a 14th gen i7. Could. But I don't think people want that. 900X and the B850MX Wi-Fi R2 motherboard. How much is the 850? Hold on, let me do this. Let me get some storage. We need 1 terabyte. I don't care if it's insane. That's the cache. Let's do 1,000. No. Yeah. Yeah, sure, right there. Crucial P3 Plus is always a banger. Kingston V3, nah. Yeah, it's gonna have to be the P3 Plus for $56. I think that's not bad. 900 X3D, if it comes in under 200, would be a great choice. But yeah, if it came in under that, that's fine. The Silicon Power UD90. I have bought the UD90 before. It's kind of expensive now, huh? Oh no, these are not sorted by price. Oh no, hold on. 2280. Okay. Hey, I almost bought an open box 7600 X3D at my new Micro Center yesterday. It was $260, but I don't need it. Dude, open box deals are no joke. Let me show you. It has his name on it, so I'm not going to dox him. But they have... This is the M4 Mac Mini, right? These just came out about 6 months ago. And I think y'all know that Apple does not often do sales. So this guy sells on Apple for $600. Okay. But then at most retailers, you can buy it for like $500. If you're lucky, education discount, that kind of stuff. Micro Center has it for $450, which is awesome. So $450 down from $600. But then this was open box and it brought it down to $382. So $382 for something that's usually $600 and is basically brand new. Crazy. Absolutely crazy for how much power you're getting in this thing. This is using an ARM M4 chip. Crazy. Those, so yeah, those, don't sleep on those open box deals, man. They can be great. 5500 X3D got to cost like 130 or less to be in consideration for a budget build. If it was released on the market with main choice, it's still tough to consider. Yeah, pretty much. It would have to just be so dirt cheap that it makes sense. But it's like, I don't know. I don't see a world in which I would tell anyone to buy it unless it's like literally such a good deal. What's better, the UD90 or the P3 Plus? I've used the UD90 before. And looking at these, it's the MP33 is okay too. I mean, if it's only $3, I trust Crucial as a brand more than Silicon Power, and it's only like $2 more. So I'm gonna go with the Crucial P3 Plus for this, but maybe we change it later. It's cheaper to buy Apple products from Costco than direct from Apple. Yeah, I wonder why they do that. There must be some agreement they have with Apple to allow them to do it. Okay, we have the storage. Uh, uh, can't pick a power supply yet. Can't pick a case yet. Let's get a cooler. Peerless Assassin's always a good choice, but I mean, this is a pretty low-end chip. Anything with power in the name is sus. Great Wall Power. Oh, let me ask you all this. This is a question I had. So I had we'll get back to the budget in a second. I have a video that came out on Saturday that was about a mini PC, right? Made from GMK Tech. It's a Chinese company. They make mini PCs. And the video was sponsored by AliExpress. And so basically if you buy if you buy from AliExpress, it's already cheaper than Amazon. I think most people know that. For a lot of things, it's just cheaper because, you know. But then also with the coupon codes, it's like significantly cheaper. It's like the exact same product, right? And somebody commented something along the lines of like, basically, it was a very aggressive comment. I'm unsubbing from you. Fair. Chinese propaganda. Lying. What was it? It was something along those lines, like lying. You're lying. This is Chinese propaganda. I'm unsubbing from you. This is bullshit. Blah 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 blah. And in my mind, I'm just thinking, he sounded like an idiot from his name. At what point is saying something is propaganda or something is? I mean, at that point, if you're buying a product that's from another country, if you don't support them, I understand, like, maybe you don't want to buy their products. I think I can understand that. But calling everything propaganda because it's like involves a product from that area. There's like 1.5 billion people there. You think every single one of them is spreading propaganda? Not really. Most people are just trying to live their lives. And so at what point is it just racist to say this video features a product made in China, I'm unsubbing because of, and they give some reason that's unrelated. Like, it just doesn't matter. Like, where in the video about a mini PC is there propaganda? In what world does AliExpress, a marketplace, spread propaganda? It's literally a marketplace to connect people from the West with sellers in China. You know what I mean? So, like, at what point do you just start saying it's just racism? Because what, every product made by a Chinese person is evil? Every Chinese person around the world? What, is it only the ones who live in China? Is it the people who live in America and Australia? Like, at what point does it just become racism to say that? I think it's the same kind of thing when people say, it's gotten very popular that if there's ever a news article about someone who's like, they do something bad at their job, like let's say they're a teacher and they steal something from Walmart. If they are not a white person, all of the comments will say DEI hire. They will literally instinctively go, this person was DEI hire. Almost like it's an insult to call anybody who is bad at their job and not white. And I'm like saying, like, at what point is it you're just using it in place of a slur, right? So it's like, it's not illegal or bad to say, oh yeah, DEI hire, Chinese propaganda. It's like, at what point are you just trying not to say a slur and trying to justify it? You know what I mean? Because not every single person who's not white is a DEI hire, right? It's like a very small percentage. And not every Chinese person is a Chinese propaganda. And that's what I'm trying to understand where this gentleman was coming from. I think I can always boil it down to that he was a crazy person. And he was, because let's be honest, it's like one person out of thousands and thousands of viewers, he is an idiot. But I just want to know, like, at what point is it like calling any brown person a DEI hire is not just a replacement for a slur, or calling any Asian person a Chinese propaganda, or any product from the entire country with 1.5 billion people of the entire world's population, what, every single person in that country is out to get you? I don't know. Somehow AliExpress got the tariffs under control. So the tariffs are still there. They are down to 10%, and those are still built in. If you look at the very end, there will be it's 10% on some items. So but it also doesn't include computers, phones, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So basically, the tariffs are still there, but because we buy computer parts, they are exempt from that. So we're lucky. So yes, the tariffs are under control for like what we buy. But I have heard people from other communities that they're very annoyed because they don't have exemption. But even for them, I think it's only down to 10% right now. So it's not that bad, but it is still kind of annoying. I saw a similar comment on a Toasty Bros video today. The comments posted in the last month, and the video is 3 months old. Interesting. There is a very vocal group against importing goods from foreign markets. Most goods are from foreign markets in one way or another, though. Okay, so you mean like places like AliExpress? Sorry, you're saying like importing goods from foreign markets. But is it better if I get it on Amazon? You know what I mean? I wonder if it's if it's because it's from AliExpress, or if it's the same product from Amazon. I don't know. Power racist? Yeah. Toasty Bros made a similar video about an emulation box of the Raspberry Pi 5 and said that was good. Okay, cool. I like the idea of a mini PC better. I'll put the whole setup, PC, TV, to 8-bit to control. Oh, very nice. Was about the same price. Yeah. I will say the thing I did was much more powerful than Raspberry 5. This could play Nintendo Switch games and PS3 games and Cyberpunk at 1080p, like 55 FPS. So comparing it to Raspberry 5 is not the same thing. Raspberry Pi 5 is like way weaker. Not even close, like a different level. That's why the mini PC costs so much. But if you're okay with like lower fidelity games or lower emulation, Pi 5s, Raspberry Pis in general are pretty cool. I like them a lot. What's up, Ish? We're going to get back to the list in a second. We're having a sidebar about racists. We just started the list. We don't have much. The same folks can never explain which part of diversity, equity, inclusion they don't like. They'll only use an acronym. It comes off like a slur. It's like a replacement for a slur. It's like a go-to, a catch-all phrase that they'll call brown people in general at any job. But I don't think so basically everyone in the entire country who was not white got hired under DEI. You're saying all of those people wouldn't have their job if it wasn't for DEI? So what? Just they would all be jobless? I don't understand. I thought I just don't understand. I watched the video but didn't comment. That's fine. So you said persons who make dumb claims are always full of shit more than tissue. I understand. It's a small. It's like one person. That's why like I'm not gonna let it get to me. It's one dude, one crazy person. I just wanted to get. I know this stream specifically is full of smart people, and so I wanted to get y'all's idea on it. Because I have seen it more and more, particularly about the DEI and like Chinese propaganda and all that stuff. New PC challenge: make a gaming PC, but no parts can have been made in China. Honestly, Robert, I think it might be impossible. You can do it if you say literally it was made in China, like that's like the label on it. But China's location and raw materials are so important to the world's manufacturing that it's like almost impossible to have zero part of it. Like even when it comes to like the battery or rare earth metals, like one part of that will have to be from China. Like I don't think it's possible truly to build a computer without using anything. Like literally zero goods from China. And if you could do it, I think it would be prohibitively expensive. But I think it actually is impossible, truly. But that'd be very interesting to do. Like you can get parts like made in Taiwan, or whatever, or made in Japan and made in the USA. But ultimately, many of the components of that are not from those locations, right? So if you do it that way, yeah, you could probably do it. A lot of CPUs are made in like Malaysia these days, and uh, a lot of parts are made in Taiwan, which is nice. But so I think you could do it that way. But if you went, yeah, it'd be very tough, especially for like cases. I don't think because yeah, I don't think there's any. Are there any manufacturers who make cases not in China? I don't think you economically can. It's tomato or tomato. Yeah. It asks the person saying it too. Very true. I understand that. I was just contrasting. I like you said it better for the power and other things you said. Yeah, yeah. It's pretty cool. I like the Pi setups are very cool. I'm glad they did the whole setup. That's pretty cool. They put in like a TV and stuff. That's fun. Yeah, the tariffs are down to 10%, but regardless, it's fine. For instance, if I got a PC for 65, it would be an extra 6.5, which I don't mind for. I love AliExpress. The deals are very good. Yeah, even after if there was a 10% buff on AliExpress, generally it's still cheaper than Amazon for that kind of stuff. Like obviously not everything's on there, but for the few things that you're buying on there, it is still yeah, it's still cheaper. If your tissue is full of it, you have some issues. Okay, let's get back. Sorry for that detour. We need a cooler for the 9600X. Let's just pick something cheap, and then we'll come back. Here we go. Thermalright Assassin X120. Let's go, baby. I'm cool with that. Okay, we are at 252. That's pretty good. I think we're making good times. Motherboard. What did you recommend? The X850. Let me go price, and let me go. Oh my gosh. B650. Let's do 840, 850. Yeah, let's do all of these. Let's do all of these. I guess it was already all of them. The BioStar B650 MT, guys. Could squeeze a 5070? We could try, for sure. I maybe. It's more than half, more than half the budget, man. I don't know. We'll try, but let me see. The Reluctant Hero. He suggested one earlier, and I think he has that name memorized by heart. B850MX Wi-Fi R2 from AceRock. X2. Let me check AceRock. Is that a good deal? Oh, 130? Wow, it's pretty good. Let me see what you get for that. 130 is a really good deal. Ah, only 2 sticks? That's okay. Okay, this is very budget. But that's okay. It can be budget. One Blazing M2. Wow, Gen 5 on a cheap board. Another Gen 4. 2.5 gig LAN. From that statement, you know he ain't the brightest book on the shelf. For instance, Trump told Apple to make the products in the US before they were all made in Asia and shipped. Yeah, it's just not possible. It's not like a judgment call. It's like physically impossible at this time. If we spent 20 years building out infrastructure for it, maybe. But at this time, and you'd still be getting a lot of the rare earth materials from China. So it would just be, posturing. Like, it's just not possible, unfortunately. Yeah, this board looks pretty good. Reluctant here, actually. The only downside is I wish I had 4 DIMM slots, but cooling looks okay. Non-existent. 130. Yeah, sure. We'll put it on there. Looks good. Oh, and it's micro ATX. Very nice. Tesla PC incoming. Works most of the time. That's one heck of a motherboard for the price. The new R2 version has a PCI 5.0 GPU slot. I saw that. Yeah, I was very surprised. I would say the only downside looks like is the cooling. The VRM cooling's not the best, but it's a 9600X. It should be okay. And then yeah, 2 DIMM slots. But other than that, yeah, it's a PCI 5 GPU slot. The SSD is PCI 5. It's like some good future proofing. We don't need 4 RAM slots, BAM 5. Sad but true. I know. There's a part of my brain that knows that logically, but every time I see two RAM slots, I just think budget. I think cheap. You know what I mean? But you're right. And it's not like if you want to upgrade the RAM, you just buy more RAM and replace it and sell the old one. It's not really like hard to take out the old RAM, put in the new one. It's essentially one more step than just adding in 2 more. And for people like us, we could just resell the RAM for just basically what you bought it for, maybe a little bit cheaper. But I think a lot of normies have a hard time reselling stuff. But yeah, I'm going to use 4 sticks, DDR5 sticks, just to piss off the internet. I think you could. Okay. We're at 382. Let's go memory. And I think Reluctant Hero had it right. We're going to shoot for 32 gigs. We're going to shoot for 6,000. Go 2 by 16. DDR5. Okay. Speed. PNY? Cast latency is 40. Can we do a little bit better than that? This is $75. That's so cheap. 38, 38, 38, 30. Never heard of Clev. 50. Oh, it's 5600. Team group looks good. Oh, Patriot Viper looks pretty good. 6000 CL 30. Can you get 6,000 down to 30? Oh, you can right here, the Silicon Power. And it's not that much more expensive. And it's white. Ooh. RAM is RAM. It works and it's pretty. Okay. That looks pretty good. We'll go Silicon Power. This is 32 gigs of DDR5 at 6,000 with a cast latency of 30. All right, that looks pretty good. And it's white. I'm sure they have black too for the same price though. Okay, this is an MATX motherboard, so we can try to get an MATX case. Micro ATS desktop, mid tower. Yes. I'm not buying a Zalman, and I'm not going this because I don't really like this case anymore. It looks old. I want one that can handle a big ass GPU. Yo, the Johnsbo D32. Do we do it? That will eventually be my profile picture for DDR5 sticks. Probably on racist, us 4 sticks and AM5, lol. Just waiting for a good price drop to pull the trigger. Okay, iOS. Okay, iOS. Did y'all see the latest, what was it? The latest LTT video? The writer Elijah kind of dragged Okinos in it, dude. Like, made fun of the case they got for it and, like, said it was like very light and cheap and crappy, like just basically making fun of it. I'm like, dude, people like Okinos actually. Like, you chose the wrong case to make fun of. D32 is nice. Yeah, but I think I'm gonna go for something a little bit more traditional. The V-True. I haven't seen a V-True in a long time. Montec Air 100. I do like the Montec. Oh, NZXT? Oh, H3 Flow. I love NZXT cases now. I used to hate them, but they look really good. This is pretty new, right? Oh, hold on. Here. Nice. And this isn't the one with the stupid fan on the bottom, right? Yeah. Look at all that airflow, man. They are overcompensating. It's $60 on AliExpress, the Johnswood D32 Pro with coupons. Nice. Okino's cases are awesome. The few I've worked with, like the two that I've built in, yeah, they're pretty good. They're pretty good for the price. I like this. I like the NZXT H3. We're going to pick that for now because I like it. And it's only $80. That's not too bad. Oh, but there's a white one. Let's go white. I like that better. Some of those cheap cases really do feel oddly lightweight, though. I usually shrug and keep building, though. Yeah, a lot of them do. And some of the really cheap ones, it's like one finger you can lift it. It's crazy how thin they are. I love the front I/O on the side of the Okino's cases. They are really comfortable. Oh, they're really affordable, and they come with pre-installed RGB fans. Yeah, what's not to like? I think that's what a lot of people do in videos. Is like they try to be negative because they have nothing else to say. It's like, this thing's cheap, therefore it's bad. So let me find ways to, like, in a funny way, say it's bad. So it's like it's like their go-to thing that to do that, and like a lot of I don't blame them, but whenever I saw that, I'm like, dude, y'all better watch out. People like Okinos. If I badmouth Okinos in a video, I feel like people would come for me because they are on the up and up of the budget PC builders. That's a beautiful case. Throw 2 Arctic P14 fans in the front. Yes, dude. Ugh. I really like... I used to hate NZXT cases. I hate them. But look at that. It's like so solid, man. The two-tone of like gray and white. Oh, it's so good. The build quality in these are awesome. Look, there's a little area for air to come in from down here. So much airflow now. Like, they're just really solid cases, and they're not that expensive. You know what I mean? Like, obviously they're cheap. They're more expensive than the $50 cases, but I think it's just better quality, and they're almost always toolless. You just pop off everything. They're super fun to build in. I'm a big NZXT case stan of the last 2 years. I will say before that I wasn't that fan. These accents look nice though. Yeah, dude. True test of any case, stand on it empty and see what happens. Oh my god, dude. I've built in some cases that if I stood on it, it would bend. Yeah, no way. Okinos would be okay, I think. But I like some AliExpress cases, and some cheaper Amazon ones, if I bend it with my hand like this and just do like this, I could bend it for sure. Like, I could crush the entire case. I wanted to make an Okino's case hit piece, but I'm still afraid of the potential backlash. Do it, dude. They're probably heavier. You're going to pay the white tax for the other parts unless you go panda on purpose. Yeah, we'll just say it's black. Because... yeah, I don't want a white GPU. That's expensive. We'll just say this is all black for now. I had one. I sat on it just to get some water, and it literally dented it. Oh, my God. I mean, it is lightweight, so it makes sense. All right. So we still need a power supply and a graphics card, and we're at 545. So let's do the power supply first. And Reluctant Hero was right on the money. 650 is a good middle ground because we can't afford anything that would take us 750 or more. So a 650, if there's a good deal on one, we're gonna grab it. Let's go 600. Apelia, no. Okay, I'm gonna go down the line. I'm gonna pick the first one that I recognize as not being complete garbage. Yo, right here, guys. 700 watts. Did you see the video of the guy who was able to build a $1,000 PC with a 4080? I did not, but I already don't trust it because it means that he was able to get the 4080 through some nefarious means. Like, he got some kind of insane deal on it. It's not replicable. Like, no, I'm not buying it. Like, can you do it? Yes, of course. But I don't like making videos about that are like that because people get mad. It's not relatable. It is a great looking part, so far it'll be a fantastic build. For sure, Nathan. Thanks, man. Sigotep? We might go Sigotep. Local deals though. Yeah, but still, like it's fun, of course. Like I'm not saying he's lying, but it's yeah, I don't want to I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like seeing other people's fortune. Not revocable for sure. I'm sure the right person can make it interesting though. The Ace Rock Steel Legend 960 XT 16 gig is cheap. Nice. I'll check that out. Imagine for a white. Oh, it's white. Oh, interesting. If it fits on our budget. Imagine trying to sell a case with a butt dent in the top. It's hard enough to sell cases. The PV Prestige 800 watt, always my favorite budget. PSU, Tier C, actual decent OEM makes that specific one. Interesting. I didn't know they made an 800 watt variant of that. All right. Uh-oh, Dylan might get his what he wants. The GN 650 watt. I know this is like a C tier, right? I think that's pretty good. Pretty affordable. I have one here somewhere. I was browsing AliExpress and I saw Thermalright makes PSUs now. Interesting. I didn't know that. Sama makes a 650 watt PSU for $65 on Newegg. It's fully modular. Oh. Is that the Sama GT? Oh, wow. Interesting. Wow, look how few slots there are. It's like just literally what you need. I'm so used to fully modulars like stretching out over here because they're more expensive usually. But this is like a budget one, so it's just basically what you need. Which, that's fine. Is this thing bad? We can pick this one. That one looks cool. It's a little bit more expensive, but whatever. Oh, they got white too? I love white power supplies because you never know that they're white. Like no one can see them, but I would know. And I like knowing that I did the right thing. I remember when the PS5 Pro came out and everyone was building the PS5 Pro killer for the same price, and then almost all of the videos proceeded to break their budget. Yeah, that's why I didn't make that video, because everyone was doing it. And it's like, yeah, it's true with used parts, but it's like, come on, dude, it's not the same thing. You know it. 610. Wow, we can't afford the 9060 XT 16 gig. That's a pretty good card. Hey, you said there's a white one. But white PSUs have to come with white cables or it's a scam. Believe it or not, some don't. That'd be crazy. You know what? There is one. I can't remember who it is. I think it actually is the Apivia Prestige that Chris was talking about earlier. It comes with a white power cable. And I only know it because I have it still because I kept it. So like the cable that goes from the power supply to the wall, that is white too. And I've never seen a power supply do that other than that one brand. And I was like so surprised. I was like, damn, dude, that is clean. But yeah, if it was yeah, some white PSUs have like non-modular black cables coming out. I'm like, what's the point of this? Like, make the cables white, man. Okay, here is the card that Reluctant Hero was talking about. Oh, man, these are the worst colors to put on here to try to advertise it. That looks like garbage. Those colors look like garbage. Surely there must be a better look. That's not a bad looking card. News to me. Yeah. Okay. I thought it was that because I have bought an Apivia Prestige before, and I think it was white, and I remember because it came with the white. So normally, you just get a standard black power cable, right? You buy a power supply, they give you this. I'm pretty sure it's the 600 watt Apivia Prestige. They give you these, which are white, white power supply cables. They're so sick. This is like such a nice touch, dude. That alone would probably make me buy this over the alternative. Because some people, they want a white build, and so the fact that you tell them even the power cable's white, it's like, dang, that's nice. That's a nice touch. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is where these are from. Easy white power cord hack, Apple iMac. I have a whole box of them. Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Ace Rock loves advertising RGB. I don't mind that, but the RGB here looks ugly. It's like this piss green, puke, barf, booger green. Like, I don't know. It could have been any other color. I just got a Steam Deck. Can I download Windows 11 without a micro SD card? Yeah, you could. You just install it on the SSD directly. Oh, I've bought the 800s. Didn't know what about the 600. Neat. Oh, okay, so maybe it was only the 600. It was pretty cool. Okay, this looks pretty good actually, and it's a little bit more expensive, but it's white, and I guess this is a white build now. Here, let's add this. And this, that's fine. It's a motherboard. Who cares? We need to change the cooler though, because I chose a normal one, and I would prefer a white one. Let's get rid of that one. Is that everything? Dang! Look at that. Right on the money, dude. How do you do that? You're gonna have to Google it, man. Go find other videos. It is too long for me to explain to you on a live stream. I would say just look up how to install Windows 11 on Steam Deck, and most people do it on the SSD, so it'll show you how to do it. A true white build, white monitor. That would be pretty sick. I've seen those. People who go all out. It's nice, I'll admit, but it's like you have so few choices. This is looking pretty good. We actually built a white build. Okay, well this isn't white, but this is gonna be covered by. Broke the budget, dude. Please. $1.96. This is about as close to a budget as I've ever gotten. I always go over like 10%. This is like so close. And I could easily go under if I just got like a worse power supply by $5 or something. Like we could certainly go under. And it's only because of shipping. What has shipping? Oh, the P3 Plus. Oh, it's because it's from iPiPower. Why would I buy this from iPiPower? Yeah, I could buy it for... What is this? Look, it's on Amazon, and they're making me... So I can go under budget. Hold on. Add it from here. Not here. It's because it's 4 cents lower. How do I choose the non-iPiPower version? Because with the shipping, oh, it's still cheaper. Okay, never mind. LG has a white monitor. It's pretty nice. Nice. Yeah, there are some really nice white monitors. A lot of Samsung Odyssey ones, the really expensive high-end ones, they're pretty white. They look really nice. I've been out of the loop. How's streaming on Linux going for you? Thanks for asking, Daniel. Basically, I had to break the challenge for now, so I'm not on Linux right now, for a number of reasons. But I'm looking to get back into it whenever I'm not as busy. I'd like to do it. Yeah, it was okay. I will say it went okay. The video will be delayed because I have to completely stop and go back to it. But yeah, it was fun while it lasted, and I'll get back to it soon. Can you still get the ID Cooling Arab CPU cooler in white? Reluctant Hero. What are you, a DI CPU cooler? That might get you right under 1,000 without ARGB. Yeah. I think I can. Let's see. It's got a white. Oh, that's not enough. That's less than $1. What is this one at? 1909. Okay. We're gonna do this. 1889. That's the cheapest white one I see. That's not cheap enough though. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's $1. All in all, I think this is a pretty good little build. And you were pretty much on the money, Reluctant Hero. It's like, and it kind of sucks. There becomes a point where that's why like I don't like making so many PC build videos, because it becomes a point where it's like, unless you build it every year, every video, it's like, well, why would you get anything else? That is the best you can get for that money. And so then you basically spend the rest of the video just talking about like the case, because the and the RGB fans, because that is what makes your computer unique outside of these basic components that everyone agrees you should have. It's very true. But this looks pretty good. This is a good AM5, good performance. This might even be like, this is like some 1440p stuff, dude. And it's all white, dude. We got a white PC, GPU and everything. Ah, it happens, man. At least you tried, for sure. Oh no, if Whitmer can't stay on Linux, what hope do the rest of us have? Yeah, it was tough, man. I'll say that it was certainly tough. I had a really hard time, and it's mostly just because of work stuff, like making videos. If it was on any other day or any other month, maybe I could have done it, but it was just too busy. Don't forget to add the comedy view on the couch with a blanket and a cold compress, shaking wanting Windows back. That'd be pretty good, actually. I'll throw that in. I'm on Linux right now. It's what I use to watch streams. Nice. I did put I put SteamOS on that mini PC in that video recently, and that was awesome, man. It was like flawless, like really, really great experience on a PC outside of just Steam Deck. It worked great. And if all I did on a PC was play games, yeah, I would have no problem doing that. It was great. Min-maxing, that's why the budget ballers builds are so much more compelling and do better. That's very true, actually. The meta builds are repetitive, but they're meta for a reason. Yes. That's how I feel making it. I'm like, dude, people are gonna know what's in this, like, because you just saw Reluctant Hero. Like you said it. Like if I say a budget, there is going to be an ideal PC that you already have in your mind, and the only reason you would variate from that is because of like, there's not much stock of something, or you get a crazy deal on something else locally, you know what I mean? And you can't say those two things in videos because then people get mad. And I'm on a Mac. I'm all over the place. Yeah, dude, use whatever you like. I like Mac. I just wish there was better compatibility with NVIDIA and SteamOS or Bazzite. Yeah, that's true. It was a mini PC with an AMD CPU. Yeah, you can't really use it with NVIDIA. It just straight up doesn't work. Yeah, maybe in the future. But that would really be up to NVIDIA. It wouldn't be up to Linux or Valve or anything. It'd be up to NVIDIA. So that's what we have now, unfortunately. But for like an APU, like a mini PC or a handheld or something like that, man, SteamOS is awesome. Really, really great. Like perfect living room PC operating system. You can turn on the PC using your controller. You can do everything just using your controller. Like it's just a console at that point. And that thing for $300, it was able to play up to like PS3 and Switch emulation, which is amazing for that price. Like, oh my gosh, like, and it's this big. That's so sick. Yes, SteamOS is easy to install on a flip-on PC now. They released some versions that are for the RG Ally, but like it is basically fine to install on a PC. You just install like you would any other operating system, and it just works. Like I was able to do the whole thing without doing any weird workarounds. It just works. I would say it's not going to have full integration with your computer BIOS yet. Like obviously, if you need to adjust the TDP of your chip, you're not going to do that in SteamOS like you would on a Steam Deck. I think that's obvious though. You still have to go into the BIOS to do that. But for like literally everything else, you're just using the PC like you would on a handheld. Fantastic. It just works. It was great. But it was a mini PC and it was not a dedicated GPU, so I can't say how good it works with a dedicated GPU, but I have heard as long as it's an AMD GPU from the 5000, no, from like it was either 5000 or 6000 series and up, so like a 5070 XT plus, I think it works. It's all on their page. They tell you like don't use old GPUs. It doesn't work very well. But they tell you like as long as it's a newer AMD GPU, it should be really, really good. Bazite, I actually don't like Bazite. I liked Bazite for a little bit, but it just crashed so much. Like many times, it seemed like it was working great, but then you click a button a little too fast, and my whole thing would just restart. And so, yeah, I just gave it up. It actually crashed so much that, and I tried so many times. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I switched back to Windows on my handheld, and it just worked. So, I don't know. But yeah, SteamOS is now easy to install, so that's fantastic. I was listening to the bill while washing the dishes. Nice, dude. Like a podcast. I do that a lot too. I will listen to YouTube videos while I'm doing something else. Where'd the music go? Oh, I sure hope these aren't copywritten. So did you install SteamOS on your handhelds then? The ones that aren't the Steam Deck, of course. Yes, I installed it on my ROG, not ROG Ally. What am I thinking? No, I did not install SteamOS on a handheld yet. I had the Lenovo Legion Go, and I installed Bazite on that. It kept crashing, so I went back to Windows, and I have not yet installed SteamOS on it. But I've heard really, really good things that it just works because they literally have released BIOS options, or they've released versions that allow you to edit BIOS stuff. So like changing TDP, all that stuff that you can do on a handheld, SteamOS now works with that on RG Allies and Legion Goes, which is awesome. So there's a very good chance I switch my my Legion Go to SteamOS. Yeah. What are your thoughts on this concept of consumer grade ARM-based NVIDIA CPU? They will have to redesign Windows to be better with ARM rather than emulate it. I think ARM is the future. After seeing what they've done on Apple Silicon, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how we're still on x86. I think having the whole industry flip and we all go ARM would change a lot of things. Like it would take a lot of work. Don't get me wrong. But if Apple was able to do it in their closed ecosystem, I think if more people jumped on board of the ARM CPU trend, I think it could be cool. If we need to redesign Windows, we need to do all of that. We need to get better compatibility. Let's do it. It's gonna be painful for a long time, but in the end, it's gonna be worth it. And I think it's worth it. It'll be really cool. It's funny that the SteamOS gives you the console experience. It's not very master race. Yeah, it's a really good. SteamOS is what the Steam machines wanted to be, and they finally figured it out. I don't know why. I finally have enough, quote, spare parts to build a Linux game PC. I was going to go with Bazite, but if Steam is easy now, I'm in. Yeah, dude. Nice. Go. Let me know how it goes. If you're using a dedicated GPU, I've heard it's very, very easy. Truly. Like in the last month, this came out, I think. 2 months maybe. They released those SteamOS versions. Last month, actually, yeah. It's very, very, very recent. But I've heard a lot of really good things. And if you check, Dave2D has a video that was pretty famous where, so the Legion Go handhelds, they released some new ones that they released 2 copies of the same handheld. Hardware-wise, they're the exact same, but one is running Windows and one is running SteamOS. And he drag raced them, so they are the exact same hardware. And the SteamOS version outperformed the Windows version in most of the tests, which is crazy. And the video is literally called like So Windows was the problem after all, where SteamOS is giving better battery life, better performance on the chips, which is amazing. So I don't know. I mean, Linux is not that way for desktop PCs, but for handhelds, when it comes to things like battery life and performance on lower end CPU or APUs, it seemed like the SteamOS version was like just way, way better. Yeah. What do I think of the RG Ally X box? That thing looked cool. I'll admit, I loved the handles. Um, I loved that it was like holding an actual controller. Like they're not like this thing's not that portable, but it's going to be the most comfortable thing you're ever going to use. I liked it a lot, and I like that Windows redid their stuff. We've all been waiting for Windows to do it for a long time, so I'm excited to try that out on my Legion Go as well, because better compatibility, why not? As long as it actually helps the battery life and it actually helps the performance, I'm down. So I've heard that thing is very expensive. Probably won't buy it, but I really like the look of it. It looks really cool. I just can't give it my non-Steam supported games on my Legion Go. Yeah, that's how I feel too. And using Windows, man, on a handheld, people act like it's the end of the world. Like, I spend 1% of my time on my handheld going through menus, and I spend 99% of the time playing games. So I don't really care if it's on Windows because it's such a small percentage of time I'm spending. You know what I mean? And if I keep Windows on it just because, I mean, if I'm playing from, like I played Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag recently, I have that on Ubisoft Connect, which is not Steam. And yes, if you go through like the Steam desktop mode and you do this change, and you install this Proton driver, blah blah blah, you can get it to work on SteamOS, or you can just install it on Windows and it just works. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, if I used if I use SteamOS more often, I would care. But the problem is that I'm playing games 99% of the time. I'm not going through the menus that often. As long as the game runs good, I'm okay. Don't those new Copilot laptops use ARM? I think so, yeah. And the biggest issue is that there's no compatibility. There's not a lot of software out there that supports ARM right now. So we're going to need everyone to get on board, and then it's going to be awesome. Doesn't ARM support SteamOS? I thought it could. Yes, it does. I believe it does. Yeah, it's on Steam, or it's on Mac, so yeah. They must have an ARM version of it. But that doesn't mean every game is going to be available. I can't wait for 3-way video comparisons. All AMD PC versus all Intel PC versus all NVIDIA PC. It's hard, unless you do it all at the same price, right? But that would be really cool. Yeah, that's just what we need now. We just need NVIDIA to start making CPUs, and then we'll have everything we need. It's going to be great. More competition is always good. And if this is what it takes for everyone to go ARM, I'm in. Especially on laptops, man. It's crazy. I will never ever use a laptop that's not a MacBook anymore, because battery life is something that I hate having to deal with. I hate having to like always be looking for a plug every 2 hours. The idea that I'm on a Windows piece, on a Windows laptop, you're constantly like running out of battery, just doing nothing. Like, it just happens. And so you're constantly like, oh, where am I going to get my next plug-in, right? I have to constantly think about my battery. But when you have an Apple Silicon MacBook or an ARM Windows laptop, I've heard is also very good. You're not thinking about the battery at all anymore. Like literally, it is a non-issue. You never have to think about it ever. And like that is a really, really nice feeling. And it's worth any kind of price premium you have to pay. It's really cool. I'll admit that not being able to play Fortnite on my Steam Deck is a bit of a bummer. It's the only non-Steam game I play. I'm not ashamed to play it, but only 0 build mode. Yeah, that's no problem. You can play whatever you want. But yes, it does suck whenever you want to play a game and you can't. And that's the main reason why I don't have a Steam Deck anymore, even though I still recommend it as the #1 thing for people to buy, because, you know, 99.999% of games do work on it. It's just a tiny, tiny amount that don't. But if you play that game all day, you're gonna be pretty bummed. You know what I mean? So unless that game's very important to you, yeah, Steam Deck is still cool. But I went Legion Go just because, for a lot of reasons. But yeah, having Windows on it is just full compatibility is just nicer, man. I hate having to wonder about compatibility. It's the same thing on desktop. I hate having Linux compatibility. Okay, I'm gonna go about 15 more minutes, just so we're clear. I'm gonna get off around 9, so we'll hang out for 15 more minutes. Bro, an all NVIDIA PC is gonna be an arm and a leg, plus an extra organ soon. Nice. I'd be down for that though. I think it'd be really fun to have NVIDIA make the case. NVIDIA make the chips, they make the RAM, they make the motherboard, top, bottom, vertical integration. That'd be really fun. As long as they're not proprietary. That would suck, but it'd be really cool. I feel like NVIDIA's CPUs, once they have their own motherboard, are going to be like the 90 series pricing. Yeah, probably. Probably. And people are still going to pay it. NVIDIA has 90% GPU market share. They think they care. They've proven time and time again that people will pay whatever they tell them to pay. So the real question is, Jason, how much better is this $1,000 build than my Lenovo P520 build? It's actually significantly better. Yeah. I mean, you've got a more modern. Oh man, what is going on here? Oh, I think I minimized it. Where is it? Here. This is gonna be so much better than yours. You've got a way more powerful CPU and it's more power efficient. So this uses less energy, less heat to pump out probably 4 times the amount of power. More customizability when it comes to the motherboard, faster RAM speeds, way faster SSD speeds. This GPU blows the 3060 out of the water. More than double the performance probably. This case looks cool. Yeah, it's you get what you pay for, right? Like, I love the P520 builds, but it's $1,000. Like, this is gonna blow it out of the water, man. Like, what are you supposed to do? Is COD Warzone playable on SteamOS? I actually don't think so. I think that's one of the, but it's also very tough to run. I don't know if it would run on there very well. Let me check. No. So because Warzone uses anti-cheat, yeah. Basically, almost all games that use anti-cheat you cannot play on the Steam Deck, which that sucks. But yeah, any competitive online game is going to be basically non-existent on the Steam Deck, which sucks. Hold on. The P520 case, far superior to any case. Okay, sure. Personal preference is always good. While we wait for better Windows integration ARM, NVIDIA needs to do an x86 CPU. Yeah, that'd be cool. But I feel like if I was NVIDIA, I wouldn't bother. If the writing is on the wall, NVIDIA's the type of company not to like, let me jump into the fray of what y'all are doing, right? They are saying, let me create a new niche. Like, let me create this new thing. Let me be the trendsetter on ARM because everyone's going to follow me. So I feel like they shouldn't, and it would be feasibly irresponsible for them to do an x86 chip, to be honest, because I think they feel like it's on its way out. And building a fab for that kind of stuff and like wasting billions of dollars of R&D on it whenever it's going to go out of fashion in a couple of years, they should just focus on ARM. But in a perfect world where money doesn't mean anything, yeah, it'd be really cool. It'd be really cool to see. I would love to put an NVIDIA x86 CPU on my machine. By the way, Jason, your wishes of luck worked last stream. I was planning to reach general, now 3 stages for marshal, the highest rank, and for my first ever highest rank in a mobile game since Ace 8 PUBG. Nice. Congratulations, dude. That's huge. It's a big market of esports games that SteamOS can't run. It's crazy, yeah. I think Apex Legends can now play on it. I think they went back because for a while you couldn't, but then I think you can. But yeah, League of Legends can't, TFT can't, Fortnite, PUBG, anything that uses anti-cheat. But the way around that, if you really want to play it, I'm gonna tell you, Reluctant Hero, if you use streaming from something like GeForce Now, you can play Fortnite. So if you have GeForce Now, or if you want to stream to your computer, your Windows computer or something, you can play Fortnite that way, which isn't the best thing to hear, but I've heard some people say it's better than nothing. So yeah, Dune Awakening is my new favorite game. It has anti-cheats and no SteamOS. Dang, that stinks. Anti-cheat doesn't even work. COD, Warzone, and Fortnite are the most cheated games ever. That's how it feels like, dude. Like, I will say, they put a lot of effort into stopping cheaters, and it seems to never work. It seems like no matter what, there's always cheaters. And I wonder how bad the cheating would be if they put less effort into it. Because they say they spend a lot of money on making anti-cheat, but it doesn't even do anything. There's always cheaters anyway. So I wonder if how well the anti-cheat even works. But they put a lot of money into it, so surely it must do something. Maybe it prevents like the lowest of the low of cheats, and only the sophisticated gamers are getting through, but I don't know. Oh, my light turned off. My blue has been gone. What'd y'all do to my blue? Let me think. We got a few minutes left here. What video am I making this week? My next video is going to be a return to form. It is going to be a $200 budget PC build using an X99 board from AliExpress and some interesting concepts in there. But I think I'm going to work the angle a little bit differently this time. Generally, people get very mad when I build $200 PCs because they think it's e-waste. They're like, don't even bother if it's that cheap. So I might do a different angle on it to shut them up. We'll see. So yeah, a $200 budget PC build video, but it's going to be a little bit different. Hopefully it'll come out either Friday or Monday. That's the idea. Thank you, Dathan. Appreciate it. Can you post 1,000 parts? Can you post the $1,000 parts list in the Discord? Yeah, sure. I can do that. Now, how do I do that? So if I just give this link, will it just give it? Yeah, it did. Okay. I will put it in the stream submissions channel. Yes. $1,000 PC part list. It's not bad at all. A video of how to install SteamOS on a full PC. It's not hard. There's something. Oh man, you have no idea how many times Reluctant Hero people comment that I need to show them how to install Windows. And in my mind, I'm just like, there's so many videos on how to do that. If I can't add anything to it, I don't want to do it. but maybe. I haven't really done any tutorials in a while. Maybe I'll go back to doing some. Those actually did pretty well. Dude, some of those X99 boards and Neon CPUs are less than 120 for mobile CPU and RAM. It's a completely viable option. To heck with the naysayers. Yeah, that's how I feel too. I think it's a good option for people who don't have any money. But people who are naysayers are generally, they come from a place of privilege where in their mind, if you don't have $1,000, just save up to get it. It's like, well, some people can never save up $1,000. Like truly, they are in like such a situation that it would be impossible for them to save up $1,000. And there's also people who don't want to spend $1,000 on a gaming PC. And like the people who comment, they can't comprehend why anybody, like the only reason people have cheap PCs is because they're poor. That's the only reason to them. Like why would anybody build a $200 PC unless they are just destitute? It's like, well, what if they don't want to use it that much? And why spend $1,000 on something you're going to use once a week for an hour? Like truly, like, they can't comprehend it, and they're just generally bad people. So they say some really stupid stuff. I still think that you should do a 200, 300 build and then upgrade it until it gets stupid series. That would be pretty fun. I've thought about it, yeah. Just part by part, keep upgrading it. That'd be funny. It also sounds expensive, but I'll consider it. Okay, guys, I'm yawning now. My GERD is flaring up, so appreciate y'all for coming. Another really fun stream. Everyone who's here, appreciate y'all. Dylan, Daniel, Reluctant Hero, Nathan. Who else was here? Sam was here. Robert Fixit. Ish. Coalition Gaming, Chris, Stang. Who else is here? Come out here. Let me know who's here. I appreciate y'all. Yeah, tonight's $1,000 PC build blows all the $1,000 pre-order builds at Costco out of the water. Absolutely. And that's the one thing you'll know. It's like, yes, it will be so much stronger. Hazards me. Good night, man. Thank you. Dude, I have a good job, college education, and make good money, but in this economy, $1,000 is not wide spending. Exactly. There is more than just save up for it. Why would you ever build something that's not perfect? They're an idiot. Also, you don't know anything about X99 chipsets, some a-hole in the comment section. They're not wrong, though. Nathan, good night, dude. Thank you. Appreciate it. Tech Blacksmith, what's up, man? Lurking. Have a good night. You my boy, Blue. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good night. Have a good week. We will see you next Monday, 7 p.m. See you later.